No jalapenos. We're gonna do pickled jalapenos in the end. I know you're hungry. I know you're upset. I'm Joe Ricchio, and welcome to Coma, my 70s kitchen, coming at you from my 70s kitchen. Today we're going to make Huevos Ricchios. Kind of a take on Huevos Rancheros, but I can't really call it that because it's technically not that. There's no real tomato sauce element. It's just kind of a breakfast that has a lot of Central South American flavors. And I love cutesy names, you know, it's very important to me. All right, so we're gonna start by adding some kind of thicker cut smoky bacon from North Country Smokehouse, a local company. You'll see I chop the bacon up because what we're gonna do is cook the bacon until it starts to crisp up a little bit, but also we render some fat out of it. We're gonna cook this whole jamboree in the bacon fat. You could of course do a vegetarian version of these and just omit this step and go straight to olive oil or butter, up to you. This is the meat in the breakfast. You know, I don't have any bacon or sausage on the side, so for me it's all kind of one delightful package. It's trying to make sure as much of the bacon is touching the pan and not piled on top of each other as possible. That's my job right now. Smells delicious in here. My work is done. I'm out of here. That's pretty much it. I think it's worth saying that I'm not Mr. Bacon fanatic. It's not like my favorite food. I don't think that bacon makes everything better. I think that bacon often overpowers the shit out of things. There was that phase, the kind of dark ages of 2007 to 11 maybe, where people were putting bacon on everything when it just didn't belong there. It'd be like, ooh, I had bacon, so bacon, and that roses are red, violets are blue, and bacon, I don't know, some meme that was going around. When people start putting bacon in liquor, like, I can't think of anything more disgusting than bacon bourbon or bacon vodka, like fatty liquor. Eat 3 strips of bacon and do a shot of whiskey. Like, I don't understand why you have to combine these things. You don't. I mean, there is no reason. And if you do, you're gross. We're not doing that here. We're using bacon for what it was meant to be used for, to crisp up, but really it's for its fat. That's bacon's greatest gift to us, is the bacon grease. And that's gonna make this whole dish absolutely delicious. And yeah, I'm using a non-stick pot. I don't care. If you don't like that, whatever. Sometimes it's easier. And I don't care. Well, you should use the thing you're using meat. Good. I don't cook steak in a non-stick pan, all right? You happy? Although maybe I'll start. A boring lean cut like filet mignon, what the hell difference does it make, you know? Filet mignon. It's like people's obsession with Dom Perignon. It's a status thing and it's not very good. Waste of money. If you're a filet mignon person, maybe I can interest you as a pairing, a side of bacon vodka to go with that. And you'd love that. That makes you happy. All right, we're gonna turn the heat up a little bit because this fat's starting to render out, but we're gonna add some veg. All right, so I just added some vegetables in here, which we're gonna stir around to incorporate in the bacon fat. We're playing a game called What Am I Eating? Is it a red bell pepper? Is it a red Fresno? Or is it a red habanero? Because they're all in there. So basically, it's just kind of a crapshoot. Also, some slivered garlic as well. But you don't really know what you're gonna get. Like, life is like a box of red identical peppers. You never know how much you're gonna burn. And it is a bad idea to touch certain parts of yourself after you chop habanero peppers, which, if you don't know, it just takes one time of not knowing and doing it, and you never do that again. It's a family show, so I don't have to get into specifics, but you know what I mean. In this step, you can use onions, you can use shallots, you can use white onion, you can use red onion, you can use garlic, you can use serrano, jalapeno, poblano, anything, any pepper you want, go with it. You want to use mushrooms, whatever. As I said, it's your journey. Bell pepper. If you want to use those festive new flame peppers, the aloha peppers you see everywhere, which are very aesthetically pleasing. I'm not entirely sure where they came from. They're nice to look at, but, you know, It's a pepper. Now, I had a phase in like 2006, I think it was. It lasted about 2 years, 2006, 2008, where I was into insanely hot food. One night I was eating a bowl of green curry, and then all of a sudden I just didn't feel anything anymore. I felt like really lightheaded and like euphoric and good, and I was like, wow, I can get like f***ed up off of food. This is great. So that started a whole journey as like, how far can I take this? And you know, at that point in 2006, you didn't really see ghost peppers, Carolina Reapers, scorpion pepper. You know, the peppers now, it's like comparing the marijuana from the 70s to the marijuana of today. I wouldn't those, but I ate really hot friggin' food. You have to choose here. You're drinking a ton of wine and tequila, and you're eating a lot of spicy food. Which one would you prefer to wear down the lining in your stomach? And I went with the booze. So that's when my pepper phase ended. I like spicy food now, but I don't generally aim to harm myself. Plus, honestly, like, you can like spicy food. You can get used to it. You can handle it. But nothing changes about the next day, no matter what your tolerance is. The next day is still really bad. You gotta, as they say, put the roll of toilet paper in the freezer before you go to bed. And that's not me anymore. I'm 41. I let Sean Evans eat all that shit. Love you, Sean. You're wonderful. So we've cooked some peppers and onions here. Next, we are going to take our passable wine that I wouldn't really prefer to have a glass of, but I will cook with because it'll taste fine. I'm sure it's just fruity, acidic, and we're gonna give it. So you wanna let that cook off until you cannot smell the boozy smell anymore. And then we're ready for the next phase. Tony, no. Next phase, all right, so we got some beans to add. You know, breakfast isn't political. I'll just say that. So we got Goya black beans, 2 cans going into the big cans. Boom. With the juice. I don't bother straining these guys. But now what really gives this stew a great texture is I use some of refried black beans. This kind of adds a really great texture to the whole dish. It looks yucky when you're first mixing it in, but I promise you, it is delicious. 2 cans of those and 2 big cans of Goya. And more of these guys. All right, so let's incorporate all this together. And once it's sort of starting to mix in, we're gonna add our seasoning. So I've got a blend here. I've used some spices from Scordo. We got Mexican oregano, some chipotle powder, some ancho chili powder, salt and pepper, and then a little bit of ground cumin and coriander. The only thing that's really essential is the Mexican oregano. You could do paprika, you could do smoky paprika, you could actually literally use just like chipotle hot sauce. It's pretty flexible. I like it to always have some kind of smoky element along with the spice. I think that's delicious. So, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring these to a simmer, and then they're pretty much gonna be done. We're gonna let them hang out. You actually can burn these. Do not cook them aggressively for a long period of time. I'm gonna use our gilded spoon to just give them a taste. So get a little bacon on there and pepper. That's delicious. And phase 1 is complete. We'll be back. All right, now that we have the beans set aside, it is time to make some eggs, tortillas, kind of put all the final components together of the breakfast with a lot of components. So to start, I'm gonna scramble some eggs. I know it would probably be a little more traditional to serve them sunny side up or even poached with this, but I like scrambled eggs, and I kind of do them in a similar style to the French omelet. I whisk the eggs until the consistency is pretty thin. Dab of water in there just to kind of thin them out. And then we want to use basically a ton of butter. That's the whole point. That's the French. I mean, it doesn't really matter if you make a French omelet or French scrambled eggs. The French, really all they care about is that you used enough butter today. And I did. I used a lot of butter in here. Eggs are going in. Like I said, I got it over a pretty high heat right now. And now I don't season my eggs until they are in the pot. And we're gonna use a little white pepper to keep it French here. And yeah. With a French omelet, you wanna go in, you wanna keep stirring, but then you keep resetting. And then when it's not easy to reset anymore, you know it's time to kind of lower the heat and go to the phase where you sort of get anything wet, really wet off the top. You know, you get everything kind of evened out. And then you roll it over in the pan. And then my favorite part of a French omelet is actually that to finish it, you have to brush it with butter, which is awesome. Essentially, French-style eggs, but rather than make them folded and pretty, we're just gonna scramble them. See, now that's kind of that's doing what we want it to do. I'm gonna give it a second, just to sort of set a little bit. There's plenty of residual heat to cook these in the pan. Okay, and I'm gonna set these aside. So just one at a time. A little olive oil on those. And then an assortment of hot sauces in the front, depending on your preference. I've got, my personal favorite in the world is the Yucateco Chipotle. Tapatio is a very gold standard, as is Valentina. Valentina is a little earthier, I think, with flavor than Tapatio. You have the Yucateco Green, so that's a really spicy but delicious tasting habanero sauce. A slightly less known, but this is the Secret Aardvark. Secret Aardvark is another habanero sauce where you really get the flavor, the fruitiness of the habanero. It's hot, it's plenty hot, but it's not excruciatingly hot, and it really focuses on flavor more than anything. So, assembling them on the plate. We're really just heating them through so they're a little more pliable. You know, doesn't have to be crazy. Tortillas are on the plate. Let's assemble this. We're gonna add some of our black bean mixture here. Make sure you get some chilies and bacon in there. Then our beautiful golden scrambled eggs. Try these. Those are delicious, just so you know. All right, now we're gonna set up basically 3 stations on the plate. We've got pickled jalapenos over here, sliced avocado happening over here, some fresh tomatoes, garden tomatoes that I chopped and I marinated in a little bit of olive oil and salt, sort of over the whole affair. It's nice crumbly cheese. This is also a very salty cheese, so bear that in mind before you go overboard. Now, the crowning achievement here, this is our Salvadoran crema. You can get crema in a lot of different forms, Mexican, Honduran. I'm not actually sure the specific differences between them, but I've always used the Salvadoran because there's a restaurant here that basically serves fried plantains, and they just serve this as the dipping sauce straight up, and it's delicious. And I remember I was using it a lot initially when I found out I could actually buy it. And I was like, why is this so delicious? Then I looked at the label, and I was like, oh, because it's heavy cream, cream cheese, and sour cream all mixed together. I guess that's why it's delicious. But you can't deny it. What we're gonna do with it is just go like so. You wanna just give the plate a drizzle of crema, and then I'm gonna finish it with a little bit of the Yucateco Chipotle sauce. Spoon here. So there's a lot happening here. You know, the tortillas I find at the end, I start to roll them up and just kind of sort of mop up with them, but you can mix it all together. Yeah. Some avocado, pickled jalapeno, a little tomato. And there you have it. That right there. Spicy. You got some fresh, you got pickled, fresh avocado, creamy scrambled eggs, delicious beans. You got some tortillas to kind of use as a conduit for all this stuff. Rich crema on top, some salty cheese. I mean, I Sure, you can put some cilantro on it, squeeze a lime. I don't think it needs it. There's plenty of acidity here. Breakfast is served. I'm Joe Ricchio, and this is Food Coma, my 70s kitchen. If you like what you saw today and you want more recipes, more videos, check out our website, foodcomapodcast.com, or go to my YouTube channel, just Joe Ricchio, like and subscribe, and we will keep the videos coming.